how to get your full manifestation. Hey guys, hope you're well. And in this video, I will be talking about how to make sure that whenever you are focusing on your manifestation journey, that you are not only getting short-term results, that you are actually receiving your full manifestation. So this video is actually prompted by three things. Number one, I get a lot of questions from people who talk about how they receive some movement when it comes to their manifestation and then they end up losing it again. Second, I actually had a session with one of my clients who she was working on herself for a while, and then we stopped coaching, and after a while she lost her results. So she came back. After analyzing her situation, this was such an important topic because I get these case studies almost every week where someone comes and tells me that I worked on this and I got this result and then it went away. And lastly, I wanted to talk about this because it's always better to prevent this rather than focus on curing this. I would rather have you work on this right now so that you never have to worry about your full manifestations, other than rather than working on this, then losing your results and then coming back and trying to get them again. So let's understand this video. Let's go into this in detail and understand each topic step by step. So first, let's understand what people mean when they say partial manifestations. So when someone says, I got my results partially or I got a partial manifestation, what does it actually mean? Partial manifestations can mean multiple things. More than not, what it truly means is that you were focusing on something and you got some results, but then the results stopped. You plateaued. You were not able to move forward and make it into your full manifestation. If I have to give you an example when it comes to a relationship, a small example can be is that you were focusing on manifesting love, or you were focusing on manifesting a person. You got some results. Maybe this person started reaching out, maybe you started feeling more confident, maybe you became very, very effortless and fearless towards your manifestation journey, but then eventually these results stopped and you somewhere went back into the same patterns. In money, it can mean that you were focusing on manifesting money, but as you were focusing on it, you started receiving some income. Maybe you started getting a better job. Maybe you started getting more clients. Something started to happen, but then it paused. It didn't go up from there. And this is where we struggle a lot because it feels, and this is like, I understand where you are coming from, because it feels that, I put all this work in just to receive some small partial type of manifestation for myself. So what are the primary reasons that this happens, and how can we make sure that it doesn't keep on happening? Number one, the first big reason why we get partial manifestations is because we give up the work too soon. Let's understand this with the help of an example. I had a client. I was talking to him very recently. This is a different client from what I was referring to. So this is what his pattern was. He's in a very hot and cold kind of a relationship, right? So this is how his pattern goes. He starts working on himself. The girl that he wants to be with, she comes back in his life, right? He never truly focuses on the true issues. He just works on himself, or at least he starts. As he's going up, he starts to get into a relationship, and as soon as the relationship starts, he stops there. He lets go of all the work, he lets go of all the progress, he stops his routines and everything, because in his mind he has gotten what he wanted, right? But then he slowly slips back into the old patterns. So from there, the results start going away. And even at this time, he doesn't start putting in the work, because as soon as he gets results, he starts to take them for granted. So now, as soon as he got results, he starts to think that, you know what, now I have gotten this result, so I won't have to work on myself, or I won't have to keep on focusing on improving this, right? At least when it's not fully there. And then the results go away. And then he starts the work again, he starts receiving movement, and then the results go away. Giving up in the middle is one of the biggest reasons why people end up not getting what they want fully. Why does this happen? Because when we are working on ourselves, it usually starts with a great desperation. We are deprived of something we want, right? So let's say I want love, let's say I want money, and somewhere I'm deprived of it. I don't have it in my life right now, and I really, really want it. And at that time, because we don't have it, that need makes me want to get it fast. So we start focusing on ourselves, we start doing the work, and we eventually let go of that desperation and that need. But the core issues are not solved because they take time to solve. So if I have a core belief, let's say that I'm not good enough, which was the case in this guy's situation, because of which he used to sabotage his relationship, that core issue is not solved, right? At this moment I'm feeling good, so it's masked, right? So we are consistent, but then we get gratification from the world. We start to receive some movement, we start to get some reassurance that what we were doing was working. We just get seduced by that validation, we start to feel slightly better, we start to let go of the routines a little bit, and it doesn't start instantly, it's usually slow. Maybe I will just miss today, maybe I will not just do this today, maybe I react once, it's fine, right? And we just keep on giving ourselves these free passes, and it eventually leads into a place where we fully let go. The old you, the old habits, the old characteristics, they are very, very alluring. You will get back into them very soon. Why? Because they have been cemented over a period of time. They weren't built in a day, they were built over a period of time. And if this was built over a period of time, the new you is still new, it's still raw, it's still a baby, right? So as you are building that up, the old one, because it comes with a lot of triggers and old habits, it's very easy to get back into. This is why it's very important that once you start receiving results, instead of pulling back, you actually start using that as an indication to push. You start to tell yourself that, you know what, if I did this amount of work, it got me this result. Now I will push and I will be more consistent, because I know that this is working, because I know that I'm getting what I want from this. So why not stick to it till the time I receive what I want fully? That is what our mindset should be. If we would be in a position where we wouldn't give up in the middle, we would actually 90% of the times receive what we want fully to begin with. The second reason why we end up getting partial manifestations is because we start assuming it's partial. So what happens is, we start our manifestation journey, or it can be anything. It can just be a weight loss journey, but because I'm here talking about manifestation, that's what I will refer to. So we start our journey. Now what happens in the middle, we don't get the results how we expected we would. So let's say there was an expectation in my mind that maybe this girl will instantly come into my life, or maybe this guy will instantly ask to marry me, right? But that is a how that I have assumed. That is a how that I am thinking about, right? This is predicted by my experiences, my subjective experience of the world, the movies that I have seen, the people that I have met, and the experiences that I have had. But the how and the when, they are not in my control. And because the how and the when are not in my control, when the journey doesn't go how I expected it to be, we start assuming that it's not working. So let's say I was focusing on manifesting this girl, just the same example, and instead of just directly asking me for a relationship, she asks me to meet up. Now in my mind, I can assume that in three ways. Number one, I can tell myself, oh, I was asking for her to, like, I was asking and focusing on the relationship, but she asked me to meet up. Great. This means that what I was doing was working because I saw some movement. This perspective will get me results. The second perspective, and this is the one that we usually have, is we start telling ourselves that, oh, I was asking for this full thing, but I got this thing. This must mean I'm doing something wrong. Now here the issue is, even if I was normally not doing something wrong, because I have started telling myself that, because I start assuming that, the results go there. Like, it just creates a cap. We just hit a plateau where we aren't able to move forward. And the third thing that can happen is we can just be neutral about it. We can tell ourselves that I was focusing on this and I got this movement. I don't have to connect these two things because the how is not in my control. Both the first and the last response are totally okay. They will actually support your journey. They will help you move forward. The second response is not okay because we are assuming that something is partial when something might just not be how we expected it to be. The how just might not be in my control. And that's very important to take into account. The third thing, and a very big reason why we don't end up receiving what we want fully, is because we are not learning what we have to from the circumstances we are going through. So as you are wanting your manifestations, there is a version of you who has them, right? Now, the whole journey is not about you getting those manifestations. The whole journey is about you becoming that version of you who will get these manifestations automatically, right? Now, as we are focused on this journey, what happens is there are some things, some circumstances, some events that will happen in the middle through which I will need to learn a series of things. And these series of things will make me the version of me who has what I want. A lot of times what happens is we are so busy criticizing and blaming our circumstances that we are not learning what we can learn from them, which will eventually help me become the version of me I have to be. So the middle part is actually filled with a lot of lessons. These are crucial lessons that I will need to learn in order for me to become the version of me who has it. But if we are not going to learn from the middle part, and we will just keep on reacting to the middle part, we will end up in a position where we will not get what we want, because this lesson will keep on repeating till I learn from it. And after I finally learn from it, I would be able to transcend past that circumstance and move into the next phase where I will learn the next thing that will help me get what I want, which will only fasten my journey. So seeing what this circumstance is teaching me, it can be a different way of reacting, it can be a different way of looking at life, it can be demanding a different circumstance approach towards me. All of these things will help me get better and become the person who I have to become for me to receive what I want. So these are the three things that if you start to focus on, you will end up receiving your manifestations fully instead of partially. I hope that you apply them in your life, because I'm pretty sure that they will get you and give you amazing results. So please tell me your experiences in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share if you liked the video. The link for my one-on-one coaching, my self-help courses, and my free newsletter are in the description box below.